Speak Easy Studios. Speak and be heard.
What effect does stress have on your life? How does it affect your relationships? What about your business? My name is Lynn of ItzWhy, and my clients call me the identity coach because they discover how to take back control of who they want to be and how they react to stress. This message needed to get out to a larger group of people, so I created a group that helps people identify and manage the stress they never realized they had. We're going to explore questions that challenge you to find your inner power that got buried so deep within because of that stress, and take back control of the situations that cause that stress in your daily life. A small change can make the biggest difference. You make the difference. Welcome back to IPP Thursday. So glad that you came back to listen again this week. And if you're new, we're so glad you're here. Want to ask you a question. When you were a kid, what did you want to be when you grew up? Did you want to be a flight attendant? Did you want to be a superhero? Did you want to be a doctor, a lawyer? What came up in your imagination? What did you want to be when you grew up to be an adult? When you think about what you dreamt about being or becoming when you grew up, what was it that sparked that? Did you want to maybe be like somebody special in your family? Maybe you wanted to follow in your parents' footsteps. Maybe you just saw a great superhero on TV and said, oh, I want to be like that when I grow up. When we're kids, we dream about a lot of crazy things. Maybe you wanted to be a doctor because you really liked your doctor. Or maybe you got to fly on planes to go on a vacation and you wanted to be the person that, maybe the pilot. What was it that made you think about that particular thing you wanted to be when you grew up? So when you think about that, how did that evolve as you got older and thought about what you want to be in that moment? Did it change? Did you want to be the same thing? Did you want to be something different? I'm curious. Let me share an example with you. I have two sons. I have one son that really wasn't sure what he wanted to do when he graduated college, and it took him some time to decide on his focus, his career. And that's okay. It turned out wonderful. He's a very successful professional today. My other son, however, wanted to be something simple when he was a kid, but when he went through school, as he went from those middle grades up into high school, he completely changed. He was infatuated with technology, knew exactly the direction he wanted to go in, and he stuck to that year after year after year after year, and has developed himself in a very successful career because he was very focused on that one thing. Once he latched onto it, he stayed with it. So what's your story? Think about what you wanted to be when you were little. What was your interest? What was your dream? And how that evolved over the course of the time that you were growing up. What did that look like? So I'm really curious. When you think about that journey, your dreams and hopes and journey towards your career, how did all of those things from childhood to now lead to what you're doing today? And what's important about that? We've just talked about how all of these dreams and thoughts led you to what you're doing today. I'll ask you, how do you feel about what you're doing today? Do you love what you do? Is that something that you might want to change? Or is that something that you really love and you just want to build it even bigger? What's important about that? When we think about this, sometimes life situations dictate what we do. Think about the person that may have become a doctor because their parent was a doctor. Or think about the family. I've seen this on many of the shows that I've watched. Oh, I'm a police officer because my dad was a police officer. My grandfather was a police officer. And everybody in my family was a police officer. You know, are we taking those generations in a career because life tells us we should? Or are we taking those steps towards that career because it's something that we love and something we want to do? It's a question, right? Have you ever asked yourself that question? I actually never expected to be in the career that I have now. If somebody would have told me years ago that this is what I would be doing, I would have said, I doubt it. I wouldn't have expected that. Most of my journey through life, I had jobs. I didn't have a career. I wasn't doing something because I loved to do it. I was really doing something for the paycheck. So I guess the real question is, and ask this to yourself now, what do you want to be when you grow up? What do you want to do when you grow up? And how much do you want to love doing it? You may already be there. And if you are, I say congratulations. If you're not sure if you're there yet, think about why you do what you do. What do you love about what you do? And why might that be important? And how might that change how you feel? I know I come up with a bunch of questions, and I'll share with you that I always say, I don't have all the answers. I do have all the questions. So come back every Thursday for all of my questions, and some of them might bring tips. We look forward to having you come back every IPP Thursday. Thank you for listening. We're glad you're here, and I look forward to seeing you next week.